You know, there's nothing like being in the green room. And I always say that because I've always wanted to be in the green room. Like, I had to create my own green room because no one invited me to their green room, right? But it's not about me. It is not about me. Although he has a little green where he is back there, by the way, like a greenish gray, by the way. But here's what I like to do. Kareem, I would be here all day if I sat down and kind of went through this resume. Why don't we do this? I want to take a couple of minutes and tell us, like, who is Kareem Ellis? And more importantly, what are you up to these days?
Gotcha, man. That is a powerfully great question to throw out there, man. So Kareem Ellis is a mixture of success, a mixture of failure. I am a passionate, inspirational, motivational speaker. I was a kid who grew up, who got in trouble for talking too much. So what else do you do with your life when that's what you get in trouble for the most? In fact, my senior year, I was voted most talkative, right? So what other line of work did you land into other than being a paid professional, motivational, inspirational figure and a breakthrough strategist? So in this season, obviously with Corona, things have been shut down and slowed down. So we're finding more creative ways to impact lives online, doing events very similar to what we got going on here, virtual keynotes. We have something called the Takeoff Academy, which is teaching people how to get ungrounded off of life's runway and get into the stratosphere where they're designed to soar. And we're doing a bunch of stuff right now in this season, man. We just dropped 3 different books. The one I want to talk about a little bit later is G.P.S My Success. We talk about how to set vision and achieve greatness. And right now, life cannot be better. Even though it's quarantine, life still can't be better.
You know, you say life can't be better, and I get that. Eric Heilig is out there, by the way. He's out in Florida. He's out. Thanks for joining in. What's up, Beverly in the house? Sherry, get him. She's amazing, by the way. High Vibe. She has a thing called High Vibe, man. You're in Colorado, right?
I'm in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Okay, I got to connect you two together. She has something called High Vibe, man, doing some amazing things with her show. But here's the question. You said, okay, Shay, I'm a breakthrough strategist and I'm a motivational speaker, and I bring those two together. For those folks that are listening for a moment, take a minute, if you would. I know we're going to have a show in a minute, but when you use the word breakthrough strategist, talk about what that means and how you help people. Because someone out there right now might want just one idea. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but can you give us one idea for someone out there that's trying to break through mentally? They're trying to break through with all the changes that are going on. They're trying to adapt with being at home. Take a moment and give us one idea just around how we can break through. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a bonus. This is what being in the green room was all about. I didn't know I was going to do this, but Kareem said I can ask whatever question I want. So here we go.
Everything's fair game, right? At least when my wife is not in the room with me, right? All right. So here's my one thing I would tell the people, man. I'm a Christian guy, and so one of my favorite scriptures in the book of life, it says, write the vision and make it plain. So that means that while I'm here on this planet for my 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, 120 years, there should be something I'm going after on a regular basis. There should be a vision, something I'm going after, something I should be putting my time, my effort, my energy, my resources in, something that needs to be completed. So even in a season like this where things have been shut down, where money is tighter than ever before, and your job may have woken you up this month and told you that you're non-essential, and businesses have been shut down and money's a little bit tight, what I will tell you is this, is you were put here on purpose, with purpose, by purpose, for purpose. That means, my friend, you have, as the old folks would say, you've been knocked up with purpose. The goal being, while you're here, is what are you supposed to give birth to? So the focus for most of us is identifying our vision. Our vision is our purpose. So what we'll talk about a little bit later is a concept called G.P.S My Success, because I believe our lives mirror what I call a GPS. And a GPS is useless until you first decide to give it an address. So the question I will always ask a person is, what address is inside your life's GPS? Simple as that.
You know, I love that. For those folks out there, Sakisha Heilig is out there, by the way. That's Eric's wife, by the way. She's out hanging out. Love her. She's the most coolest person in the world. I don't know what Eric does all day, but Sakisha makes things happen, by the way. Sharon Dyer, what's going on? It's always a pleasure. Hey, look, you keep talking about GPS, right? You say what address is dialed in. And I don't want to be Debbie Downer. But what do you do when you're going through a situation, and COVID is very serious? I've lost family members to it. We've had impact in our business and impact to people all over the world. But I'm curious.
Okay.
Let's say that you have your GPS and lose the internet connection. That's what's going on now, right? Internet connection is gone. So you got to figure things out for a few minutes. My question to you is, what's the type of conversation that you and your colleagues are having behind the scenes right now that we're speaking on stages, but now you can't be there and contacting, shifting in some cases the business. So tell us the conversations and what your guys are doing to encourage each other, and ladies, and the conversations you're having. We're nosy and we're curious.
So I love how you put that, because that's actually a chapter inside the book where we talk about losing your signal. The problem with losing your signal for most of us, when we lose our signal, we lose our way. So if you understand how a GPS works by connecting to a cell tower. That cell tower connects to an overhead satellite. And then so as long as I have that trifecta connection going on in real time, then I can find my way anywhere on the planet. But if I lose that signal, I lose my way. So if I'm in a situation where Corona has shut down my mindset, number one, who am I surrounding myself with on a regular basis going to get me back focused again? Think about it this way. If I lose my signal, the only option I have is to try to regain the signal. So who are the coaches I'm hanging with in this season? Who are the mentors I'm hanging with in this season? What organizations do I still belong to in this season that's going to get me refocused? Who are my accountability partners? Because anytime I put an address inside a GPS, my GPS physically speaks to me and keeps me accountable to keep me on the beaten pathway. So when I see folks in the season that have lost their way, 9 times out of 10, it's because they're not surrounding themselves with the right people. So who do you specifically need to connect with in this season that's going to keep you grounded and keep you on track? Remember, Jim Rohn said it best. He said, our lives mirror that of the 5 people we hang with the most. Only 5. That means I must be super selective over who my 5 is in a season such as this.
Woo! Well, I tell you what, you one of the 5 this evening, this morning, this afternoon, no matter what time it is, wherever you are in the world, you hold on. For everyone that's out there right now, Teresa that's out there right now, Cindy's out there right now, Calvin is out there. We've got a show. We just been in the green room, but we're about to kick this thing off. He claims you, and he's going to do it, the GPS Your Way to Success. I'm asking him 3 steps, and I'm asking him, what do you do when you have a setback? We're going to ask him. We'll be back in just a moment. We got a show in 5. It's my favorite thing to do. Y'all know that. 4, 3, 2, 1. We got a real show. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of those resources that are really necessary to execute that huge, that big, that large, that incredible vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And I always say that I believe you have 3 visions. I want you to check in with those right now. You first have a vision for yourself. The clothes you want to wear, the car you want to drive, that organic food that you've got to have. It's got to be organic. I know it's healthy and organic. And it takes resources, which means it takes revenue. I believe you have a second vision, by the way. You have a vision for the ones you love the most, the people you care about. Mother dear, we celebrated her 73rd birthday a couple weeks ago, is still on this planet. She's able during this time right now to be able to order stuff online. Love doing that. It takes resources, by the way, because it's my credit card. She's probably watching now. But it takes resources. Or maybe you want to send your kids to a school of your choice. Some of you want to write a check for one of the causes you believe in. It takes resources, takes revenue, and this is going to help you. Or maybe right now you have a vision for the people you were called to serve. And an example I like to give often is imagine that you're Noah in the Bible. Whether you're a believer or not, I happen to be a believer. You don't have to be one. You don't have to be one. But Noah in the Bible had this vision. And imagine before Noah gets started, there's a knock at the door. He's like, hey, what's going on? Noah, over here. Noah, right here, right? Yeah, me. Noah, I want to report to you there are no hammers in the house. No hammers, cool, we're good to go. It's not a problem. It'll be all right. Yeah, right here, Noah, me. You? Yeah. You see my hand? I see you. There's no nails either. Got it. I'm not going to panic. Things are going to work themselves out. I know that. God darn it, another knock at the door. We know what the deal is. Let's ask, what's wrong now? And the person says, Noah, there's no wood and there's no people to put the boat together. Good luck. And maybe that's you. You've got the big heart. You want to do something, but the GPS is not dialed in the right way. You don't have that one resource you need. And so Kareem showed up to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to change your life. And he'll do it if you let him. So Kareem, what's up, my man? How are you? Welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show.
I'm blessed and highly favored, man. And I love the fact that you call this the Happy Entrepreneur, because I've been an entrepreneur for a little over 20 years in this season, man. So it is always a blessing, a privilege, and a plan to come together with someone with a platform such as this. I'm excited, man. I'm excited about the territory we're going into today.
Good. I'm super excited as well, but I got to address the elephant in the room. I just got to address the elephant in the room. You picked the topic, sure. Success. Okay, here we go again. I know y'all saying here we go again with success. So let's find out his definition of success. And what does it mean? So you know what you're trying to find a GPS to. So take a moment, if you would, and let's slow down, and then we'll speed up. And the topic is GPS, your success. Take a moment, and when you say the word success, what does that even mean these days?
So here's the thing. I think the problem with definitions have so many different word interpretations. There was one stage in my life where success was having 6 figures. One stage of it was being married. One stage of it was having kids. So I think success changes based on the individual, but I believe success really revolves around you first identifying the vision for your life and then watching it come to fruition. Because money doesn't define your success. I know a lot of people that have a lot of money and they're miserable. I know a lot of people that are married, but they're miserable. So I think that success is kind of a genre package where I don't want to slap a label on it. I feel like for each individual person on here, you must have an idea of what you want your life to look like in an ideal world. And achieving that ultimately is the version of success that best suits you.
What do you think, before we get into the topic, what's one of the reasons why people are unable to achieve success? I mean, I know there are many, but if you had to boil it down to 1 or 2 reasons why, based on your experience, and this is what you do better than anyone else, what holds people back? They got to have heard the topic before, but what's holding them back, man?
There are so many things I could throw out right now. Your listeners, your viewers will feel like I just pulled out a fire hose and let loose on them. But if there's one thing I'm going to say that destroys success more than anything else, it's going to be distractions. We live in a world full of nothing but distractions. There was a research study I took a look at about 3 years ago, and they said out of a room of 100 people that set New Year's resolutions, January 1st, this is the goal I want to go after. I want to see a 6-figure salary. I want to lose 35 pounds. I want to be married. I want to buy that brand new house. I want to take 2 vacations a year. Out of a room of 100 people that set New Year's resolutions, by February 1st, 70% of them had thrown those New Year's resolutions out the window. And when they asked why, everyone said, man, I got distracted. Life got so busy and things got so complicated. Because one thing we can all agree on is life doesn't take any rest. Life doesn't take any pit stops. Life comes at you, and life comes at you fast and hard, you know. So if you're not prepared for life and its distractions will literally kill any goal, any dream, any agenda.
Any goal, any dream, any agenda. For those folks that are out there, he's going to break down. I'm going to ask them at least 3 steps that you need to do in order to GPS your way to success. But do me a favor. Kareem didn't show up today, and he didn't ask for a Cash App payment before we got started. He didn't ask for a credit card. So I want you to take this message and pay it forward. I think he'd be okay with that you can bless someone else. You can pay this forward to another entrepreneur. So how do you do that? How do you do that? Hit the share button now. Hit the watch party button right now. And when you do that, this box kind of pops up. Now, if you're watching it online on Roku or something, you can still find the link and share it. And then in that box, when it comes up, write these words: GPS your success, hashtag Karim Ellis. Just GPS your success. That's what he's going to talk about. That's what he said. Hashtag. So you're helping someone else find the success that's most important to them, because we believe in the giver's economy. The person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. The person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. Hit the share button. Share, why do you keep saying that? Because you can help someone else along this journey. And it doesn't take anything but just click of a button. Help someone else. All right, man. Break down. What are 3 ways that we can GPS our way to success?
Gotcha. So number 1, I keep saying this. I'm going to say this again and again and again. Everything starts with vision. Facts about it, until you get identifiable about the vision that you want to see happen, whether this is a lifestyle change, whether this is the type of job you want. This is the entrepreneurial show. So that business that you've been dreaming about getting off the ground, take it to the next level. Everything starts with vision. One of my favorite scriptures in the book of life says, write the vision and make it plain, which means clear. It is very hard to go after what you can't see. So number 1, I got to figure out what my vision is. If I don't know my vision, I don't even know what resources I need for the journey. So let's talk about a few resources real quick. Number 1, time. Time is one of your most valuable resources. But until I got clear about what direction I want to go in, do you realize how much I was mismanaging my time? How I was giving my time away for free by hanging with people I probably shouldn't have been hanging with, spending my time watching TV versus taking that time and watering my goals and my dreams to get things off the ground. As a speaker, I've been speaking since 2007. So when I get on stages, I make it look easy, but people don't realize how I invested my time because I had a vision to attach it to. Let's talk about the concept of money. Money is one of the most valuable tools you'll ever have to be successful. But if I don't have a vision to attach the money to, I'll blow the money as quickly as it comes in. What I find with most people when they get paid every 2 weeks or get paid every month, or even with the government check that's coming out to some of the folks is getting the $1,200 or the income tax. If you don't have a plan for your money, I promise you, there is no shortage of folks out there waiting around that have a plan for your money. So once I realize with vision, I can direct my funds properly to build the website, to build the branding, to get the coaches, to get the mentors, to get everything we need to get things off the ground. Let's take another concept. Let's take the concept of mentorship, right? Because for a lot of folks out there, and this is one of the 3 I'm going to give you, if you properly set a vision, the vision allows you to figure out what strategy I'm going to use to get this vision off the ground. And once I know the strategy, then I can firstly identify, most importantly, identify who's the mentor. Who's the mentor? So I didn't start this journey speaking. Oddly enough, I started this journey in real estate. And I still do real estate now because you need multiple streams of income. But first, I set the vision of what I wanted my ideal life to look like. Once I set the vision, then I have to figure out what strategy will get me there quicker and faster. So I chose real estate because flipping houses, making 30, 40, 50 grand was a good way to do 2 things. Number 1, it was a good way to leave the 9-to-5 job, because I'll be honest with you. With a lot of people, the reason why they're not chasing their goals and dreams quick enough, because they're spending 40 hours a week watering someone else's dream seed. And this is something some folks got to hear. The reason my business took off so quick, because I learned how to take those 40 hours a week where I was making someone else rich and put that solely behind my business, my goal, my dream, my vision. Okay, so there was strategy involved on how to transition and do that. And then with strategy, that opens up the gateway to many other things, all right? But once I figure out the strategy I was going to use, which is real estate, now I got to find the mentor. I got to find the person who's been there, done that, got the t-shirt, the coffee mug, and most importantly, they got the losses, the setbacks, and the failures, because I learned more from your mistakes than your victories. And when I can find the right mentor, the mentor is what I call a warp zone. If I can take someone who has 40 years of wealth, knowledge, and information, and I can get them to condense their experience and teach it to me in a short amount of time frame, how fast do I get to my finish line? Okay, so the three things I'm going to say is, number one, vision. Set the vision, know what it looks like, be clear about it. Number two, figure out what strategy you're going to use. If it's going to be real estate, it's going to be building my business. Am I selling information? Am I the expert? Am I using my God-given gift and talent to create my wealth? What strategy I'm going to use? And then most importantly, who's the mentor who's already been to the mountaintop, who can teach me how to do the same exact things, but hopefully do it in quicker, faster amount of time.
So you gave us three. For those folks that are out there, go ahead and put these three down. Number one was what? The vision, right? Have a vision. Mm-hmm. What was number two?
Two is strategy.
Two is strategy. And number three?
Mentorship.
Now, what would you say to the person that's out there listening saying, all right, that sounds cool, but I've had some setbacks in my life. I've had some challenges, and I'm curious, Shay, as he's talking about this in a perfect world, it sounds great, but you know, he sounds like he's perfect over there, and I don't know if he is or not, but we're going to ask him, like, how does he apply GPS when there's been a setback in his life or somewhere along this journey, and then how was he able to bounce back, and what were some of the principles that he applied there as well? Maybe it was these, maybe it's another set. So what's the question, Kareem? The question is, do you mind opening up and sharing a time where things just didn't work out? Sounded perfect. I mean, you know, you went and you went over real estate agent, and you went and made this money, and you left your job and got the wife, and you're doing what you want to do. But do you mind for us folks that have been to hell more than once and had some setbacks, what do you do, man, and how do you handle those? So number one, what was the setback you had? Number two, what was the principles that you used to turn it around?
So here's the thing, man. I have had so many setbacks. And the thing about being an expert at something, experts make stuff look easy. Experts make stuff look easy because a lot of times we showcase what we're good at, but we don't really get a chance to talk about the setbacks, the challenges, the failures, and things like that. So by no stretch of the imagination have I had a spotless, blemish-free, perfect life. So the setback I'll talk about is something that happened to me in 2015. In 2015, I found myself in a very precarious situation. I decided that I was going to be noble and break up a domestic dispute between this couple, not realizing this man had a 9mm handgun that he pulled from behind his waist, and he let off a round. And unfortunately, that round struck me directly in my right kneecap. So for 9 months after getting shot, I had to learn how to walk all over again. Physical therapy, everything, every game plan, everything I had laid out, everything came to a standstill. Every speaking engagement came to a standstill because I had to learn how to walk all over again. I lost, I'm going to say, 50% of the muscle mass in my right leg. I couldn't walk down a flight of steps. It was just probably one of the most excruciatingly painful situations you could think of. There's a reason why you torture somebody by shooting them in the kneecap, okay? The way I rebounded back is simply this right here. When you put an address inside of GPS, I want you to understand that when you run into traffic, if you miss your turn off, if you turn the wrong way, if you get on the wrong exit ramp, the GPS doesn't give up on the journey of the address you put inside the GPS at the beginning of the journey. What will happen is the GPS will say one thing and one thing only. It'll keep repeating the word recalculating, recalculating, recalculating. And here's the reason why. I want everyone to understand, even in the midst of Corona, where things have been shut down and it seems like money is tight, there is always more than one way to get to your finish line. The problem I see with most people, they get so focused on the goal, they think there's only one way to get there. When oftentimes there's alternative routes that will manifest whenever you hit the proverbial brick wall or you turn the wrong way. So the idea again is, how focused am I on what address I set in my life's GPS at the beginning of the journey. For many of you, you think that some of the stuff you've been going after has been canceled or X9 or killed off based on the current season. When it comes to issues of money, I want you to understand something. Money is the reward for solving a problem. Money is the reward for solving a problem. So your job, even in seasons like this, is to be the professional problem solver. There's not a shortage of money in this season. It's a shortage of people out there that understand that I must recalculate to get to the cash flow. For all the entrepreneurs out here, you have to figure out, how do I recalculate in this season to get to the finish line? So for me, it was always about making sure I stay aware of what address went inside the GPS at the beginning of the journey, because the address never changes.
Address never changes. How do you set a vision for others to follow? One of the areas I know that you focus on is helping leaders be leaders.
Sure.
Right? So I understand that we're a leader of one before we're a leader of many. But my question is, how do you set a vision that others would want to follow? Because there's some folks on here, man, they're team leaders.
Yes.
There's some folks on here that are entrepreneurs, but they still run a virtual team. And there are other folks on here that run organizations and nonprofits. So I think it's a very reasonable question at a reasonable time. So if you don't mind answering it, man, I'd love to hear what you got to say.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm a member of the coveted John Maxwell Leadership Team. So leadership is one of the things that we're all about. And leadership flows from the top. So in times of turmoil, a lot of folks that may be up under your leadership command, they got to understand that leadership still flows from the top, that I'm not in this boat by myself, and while I'm sinking, you've abandoned ship, okay? So first thing is understanding. Second thing is human nature is to move on what we call a WIFM. Now, I know not everybody knows that term. WIFM stands what's in it for me, all right? So anything that we do in life, there's typically a WIFM involved. So as a leader, I must be aware of what the different WIFMs are out there for my team. It's amazing how many people are struggling trying to lead teams of millennials, because millennials have a different concept on what's important for them in this season. Millennials want to feel like if I belong to a company, I want to feel like the company is actually doing something. They stand for something. We're older generations. I'm a child of the late 70s, early 80s. I was born in 76. We're all about the payday. What's the starting salary? You know, millennials aren't that way. So if I'm trying to bring you in based on what I think is important to you, and I don't know what's actually important to you, that's a very, very hard bridge to cross. So we're in a generation where a lot of folks out there, they're trying to lead, number one, not by example. Number two, they don't understand what's important to the people that's underneath them right now. The other thing I'll say is this, is there's a Maxwell principle that I absolutely love. It says leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So if I'm a leader, understand that I carry influence over everyone around me. But the beautiful thing is this, when I create influence, I also create opportunity. That means that, let's say, for instance, when I started out speaking, I was an unknown individual. But the more I created a leadership level and brand through social media and speaking on stages, I became influential. The more influential I became, the more opportunities I created. So the idea being, as a leader, am I creating opportunities for individuals in my team? Am I also creating opportunities to make them leaders as well? Everybody works on a WIFM. Everybody. Even my 3 Yorkies work on a WIFM.
I love it, man. I love it. You know, I'm curious, what's your big why? I know it has nothing to do with success, it has nothing to do with what's going on, but, you know, why do you continue to do this? What keeps you going, man? I guess the question is, what's your big why? I'm just curious.
What's my big why?
Yeah.
So my big why happened around the age of 26. Around the age of 26, I went through one of the worst breakups I could possibly imagine, man. And the breakup left me homeless. I was forced to move back home into my parents' basement. I was riddled with debt because in a relationship, I was the older of the two. So everything was in my name. And, you know, when you break up with somebody, they ain't helping you pay no bills. It's all on you, sucker. You signed for the debt. And so I got so depressed with my situation. I ballooned about 30 pounds in weight. My performance at the job fell off. I ended up getting fired. My car got repossessed. Credit cards were maxed out. Bank accounts shut down for non-sufficient funds. And I got so depressed with my situation, for the first time, I contemplated taking my own life. I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, man, I can't see life getting worse than this. I got a daughter where I can't even pay child support for, not because I want to be a deadbeat, don't want to do it. I just can't seem to get my life in order to move forward. And so my thing was, I did a Hail Mary prayer to God. I said, if you can give me one reason why I should stick around when everything else is going to hell in a handbasket, if you can give me one reason why I should stick around, you need to let me know this tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to go through with this in some way, shape, or form. And that night when I went to sleep, I had the strangest dream in the world. I was actually inside a church at a funeral, but the problem was it was my funeral. And I remember talking to God and saying, what's going on? And he wanted me to see the amount of people inside the church. There were so many people inside this church that the line stretched around the block. And he said, these are the people you're going to impact while you're here. What I want everyone to understand, especially people going through a tough time in this season, I want you to understand, and I said it earlier, you are not an accident. You are put here on purpose, with purpose, by purpose, for purpose. That means that God put you here not accidentally. There's something you've been put here to do. And your job, your mission while you're here is to walk that thing out. The problem with a lot of people is they get so distracted that they don't realize they actually have a purpose. You were one of a million-something sperm that made it to the finish line. You're not here by accident. The issue being is, can I walk out my purpose? So when I speak all over the world, when I look at the testimonials of folks I've been blessed to impact on stages, on social media, it is a reminder of that moment where I hit my darkest point, where I was ready to take my own life, that again, I'm not here by accident. So that's the why that drives me. I feel like if I can get that message out there and get folks to revisit how they look at themselves and chase their own level of breakthrough, then I'm serving my purpose and my higher calling.
Well, man, you're doing a great job. We certainly admire that. And, you know, one of our core values here, I don't know if you know this, at the Happy Entrepreneur Show, is that today is my January 1st. And for those folks that are out there and you're hearing that for the first time, today is my January 1st. You listen in, I'm going to tell you what it means. For those that know what I'm about to do, you know what segment we're in. You can look right below the video right now. Look right below the video and write those words. Today is my January 1st. And what that represents is we don't wait for the date on the calendar to be January 1st. We create a January 1st moment. And there's probably about 1,000 moments throughout the day. In any one of those moments, you can make a decision, and that decision can forever change the trajectory of your life, right? So you make a decision that you're going to work out. You got plenty of time to do that now. Or you sit back and you binge watch. You're going to watch Netflix. That's a January 1st moment. You make a decision. You're going to eat hamburgers and French fries and a little salt and pepper. Got to have some ketchup, by the way, some hot sauce. Or you're going to go to the refrigerator, you're going to open it up, and you're going to reach in, and there's some kale. Ooh, that sounds so good. There's some broccoli. Yes, we're going to have that. There's some Brussels sprouts. That's a January 1st. So today, as you're writing those words, is my January 1st, represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It says your past doesn't equal your future. As my dad, Marsha Brown, would say, your future is spotless. You can create it. So my question to you, Kareem, as you're listening is, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? What does it mean to you, man?
For me, hearing today is my January 1st, I'm going to keep the same theme going. Write the vision and make it plain. Write the vision and make it plain. Typically, how you start the race determines how you finish the race, or better yet, it's the thing that keeps you on track when you stumble along the pathway and lose your way. So for me, January 1st is all about writing and creating vision, so I know exactly what I'm going after in this season. Again, I said it earlier, if I know where I'm going, I can identify the connections I need to make to help me get there. I can identify the mentorships. I can identify the education I need to be consuming in this season. I can identify how I should spend my time, more importantly, how I should spend my money. So for me, everything is about vision. Write the vision and make it plain. Be clear about what it is you want in this season.
For those folks that are out there right now, go ahead and hit the share button. Joy Daniel, who's out there. Sherry, what's up, Sherry? Sharon's out there. Teresa Davis, thank you for all that you're doing out there. Cheryl Graham, it's always a pleasure. Carol, I see you. If you're out there right now, hit the watch party button. Hit the share button. Pay this message forward to another entrepreneur, another single mom, another single dad, another married couple. Someone's out there right now that says, you know what? This message is for me. This is my time. This is my year, and I'm ready. You know, they're excited right now, and as they're doing that, they might be wondering, what was your January 1st moment where you decided, I'm gonna plant a flag, I'm gonna make this entrepreneurship thing work no matter what, and I drew a line in the sand. You've had so many defining moments. You share some with us. But ladies and gentlemen, he has more. Don't worry. What was another moment? There was a defining moment for you, man. You said, yeah, this is my time. I'm going to do this thing no matter what.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. These questions are wonderful, man. My defining moment was when I moved back into my parents' basement and I had lost it all, and I saw that vision, because again, and I'm clear with this, once you have vision of what it is you're put here to do, now you have purpose, now you have direction, okay? So once I saw the vision, the second thing was, what's the strategy I'm going to use that's going to make this vision a reality? More importantly, what are the hurdles and the brick walls that are standing in my way that's blocking me? So for me, I had to be an entrepreneur, because to go out there and impact lives all over the country, nationally and internationally, I couldn't do that as a manager with a 9-to-5 job working 40 hours a week. There's not enough PTO in the world to take off time to go travel out of the country, or to go to California, to go to Atlanta, or to go to Florida. I would have been fired so quick. So I have to be honest with what's blocking me right now. So I don't know who's watching this right now, but be honest with what the challenges are that's stopping you from walking into your wealthy place, your entrepreneurship place, and figure out what's the strategies that's gonna let me overcome it. I'm a master chess player, because chess is all about strategy and putting things in checkmate. Your vision is what goes in checkmate. So what strategy are you gonna use to make it to the finish line? Now here's a side note. For all my married individuals out there.
All right.
Especially
I'm in the house.
You men.
I'm in the house.
The most important piece on a chessboard is the king, because once the king is put in checkmate, the game is over. But the most valuable piece on the chessboard is your queen. Queens can easily dictate the terms of the game. One of the most valuable things I did this year, February 27th, is made my queen official. And I've watched my business grow through the stratosphere in a season of downtime. You must understand that when you set vision, vision lets you know who you need on your team. I'm amazed how many people I dated that were improper for my journey because I didn't have vision when I took their phone number. I'm amazed how many jobs were not a good fit for me because I didn't have vision when I signed the information to work for this company or organization. So for my married people, man, listen. For my married people, you got to be clear. The visions have to align. Understand one key thing about being equally yoked. You can be under the same roof and still not be equally yoked with each other. You can be under the same roof, want to win and want to succeed, and still not be equally yoked. But I understand every game of chess I played in my life, my queen was a key player in helping me win that game, guys. That's that right there. That's I don't even know what else to tell you.
They ain't nothing to say. It's over. That's over. They're all saying yes, 100%. You know, as I'm thinking now, they're excited, by the way. They're pumped up. Kristen's out there, just like they were excited back on December 31st. After a couple of drinks on the back of a napkin, like you said, they wrote down their New Year's resolutions. And for some, we know how that landed, right? Some of y'all didn't go well. Others, not too good. Here's my question to you. You may have heard this before. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Yeah, that's right. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with most? Myself included. I got two hands up. Consistency. So my question to you is, what do you share with your audiences in order for them to be consistent and to hashtag stay the course?
I love it, man. You're asking some heavy hitting stuff. Listen, so I look at success. That was a question you had earlier. I look at success like baking a cake. And if I'm going to bake a cake, here's the thing. Number one, I kind of want to know what the cake looks like. Okay, so that way I know whatever I'm making in the oven looks like what it's supposed to look like. But number two, a cake is comprised of many different ingredients. You got sugar, you got flour, you got eggs, you got milk, you got, vanilla extract, you got all these different ingredients. And here's the thing, if I make a cake and I leave one ingredient out, it may look like a cake, it may smell like a cake, but it won't taste like a cake. And so in my success cake, I'm going to say with consistency, I think of habits. 90% of what you do on a regular basis is dictated by your habits. And listen, scientists say it takes 21 days to create a habit. After 21 days, it's on autopilot. So I'm sitting here holding this cup of cold brew, right? Coffee. And the way I hold this cup, the way I drink from this cup, that's all habit. I've been drinking, I'm 44 years old, right? And I've been drinking and holding cans of coffee and soda the same exact way for 40 years of my life. So not only is it a habit, it's on autopilot. That means I do this without even thinking about it. So here's the thing. How many things are you doing right now that you do on autopilot that you don't even think about? And I'm talking about the tangible stuff. I'm talking about how you drive your car or how you tie your shoes or how you hold a fork. If you do these tangible things on autopilot without thinking about them, what are the things you're doing right now that affect your success that's on autopilot that may be slowing you down and causing you to lose the race? In other words, how do you respond to opportunity? How do you manage your money? How do you dissect information and education? There are so many habits out there that if I know what habits I need and I can put them on autopilot, that is the key to consistency. I'm a gifted and talented speaker. But if I didn't have habits of consistency, I would be a gifted, talented speaker that you've never heard of. So one of the keys to consistency is creating habits that are on autopilot where I don't think about them, I just do them. As I say on stages across the world, when opportunity presents itself, you move.
What type of clients do you work with? What's your ideal client? As for those folks out there listening, they might be wondering, wow, right now, does he speak on Zoom calls? Does he speak on virtual platforms? Well, number 3, does he work with folks individually? Does he help them with leadership? Shay, ask the question, what type of clients does he work with? What's his ideal client? Because it might be me, or it might be someone I know. And then secondly, how can we best connect with this guy?
Gotcha.
So take it away, my man.
All right. So the clients that I work with, number 1, I prefer them to be hungry. As one of my mentors says, Les Brown, you got to be hungry. Okay. And the reason being is this, you'll get in what you get out. So when I talk about G.P.S My Success, my clients are folks that understand where they want to go. They have an idea, but they're stuck. They're a little bit delayed. They can't see the sun because in their mind, the trees are the things that are kind of blocking the viewpoint. So my job as a breakthrough strategist is, number 1, help you get clear on your vision, whatever that vision may be. And I love entrepreneurs because I'm an entrepreneur myself. But number 2, my job is to help you identify what are the resources you're sitting on right now. What are the things you need? What should you be using on a regular basis, and who should you be accessing that's going to help you get to that finish line quicker and faster? So I deal with entrepreneurs in this season. I deal with what I call entrepreneurs. These are folks that want to be an entrepreneur. They're just not sure where to start at. I also deal with a lot of business owners, multi-level marketing owners, where they have leadership teams and are trying to get their teams up to snuff to get them to see the next level, okay? So those are the things we're dealing with in the current season. As a speaker, we talk about, obviously, breakthrough. We talk about leadership. We talk about motivation, inspiration. So that will always be there. Nothing about that changes. But in this season, because it's a season of change, I believe that this is the season where you will be rewarded not only for leadership, but for being what I call the expert. That means I have a gift, a talent, and an expertise. How am I monetizing that or creating a business off of it? Okay. So those are the things we're looking for. Number 2, if you want to connect with me, at this stage of the game, I'm on literally almost every social media channel you can think of. So you can very easily type in Karim Ellis. That's KARIM ELLIS, the number 360.com. And that one page will give you links to every social media site I have, from LinkedIn to Instagram to the personal web page on out. So if you're looking for a powerhouse keynote message, speaker, whatever have you, all that stuff is on that one page right there, KarimEllis360.com.
Ah, man, I'm loving it. You know, we're in a rapid fire segment right now, and this is a segment where I get to ask whatever questions on my mind, and you can answer or you can decline. See, the good news is I give you a chance to do one or other. I haven't had a speaker yet decline, especially a speaker he's truly someone that speaks on stages. He moves audiences, so he's a little different, right? But here's my question, and it's my favorite question to ask, or I wouldn't ask the question, which is, What is your number one key to success? I mean, you probably learned 10,000 ideas in your lifetime. You could teach on success all day long, or probably a week easily. But if you had to boil it down to one at a time that we have, what's one of your keys to success, and how can we apply it in our life?
I'm going to say find the mentor. I come from a biblically based background, so I grew up in a Christian household. And one of the things I've learned from reading scripture with men and women of faith, they almost always had a mentor. Joshua had Moses, obviously disciples had Jesus. And so there's a reason why you want to seize opportunity with individuals that have accumulated knowledge, wisdom, and get that information to be poured into your cup, because the one thing everyone in here has is what I call expiration date. Every time you open up your refrigerator, every item in that refrigerator, even bottled water, believe me or not, has an expiration date. That means that there's a moment in time where every item in my refrigerator is no longer of usage. I have to throw it out. Whether you know it or not, my friend, you have an expiration date attached to your life. And so the quickest way to make sure you get that vision, that goal, that dream off the ground before your date comes up is you gotta find the mentor. When I looked at my very first business, which was an online vintage toy business, I had a mentor, and that's what superseded my growth. When I looked at real estate, I actually worked for my mentor for 2.5 years, and that's what superseded my growth. When I look at the speaking industry, I've had a plethora of mentors, from well-renowned Delatorro McNeil, who's one of our joint friends, to obviously the world-renowned motivational guru Les Brown. Okay, and that's not by accident. Once I establish the vision, I should blatantly be trying to figure out who is the mentor who can help me get to my finish line quicker and faster, because that knowledge is something that takes us to the next level. Absolutely. Find that mentor.
You've had so many mentors. You mentioned some of them. And so the question in our mind has to be, what's one idea you've learned from one of your mentors that you're going to share with us? Like, we all get the benefit right now. If you're out there right now, hit the share button, hit the watch party button. Like, do it now. Like pay the message for it. Say, your GPS to success. Hashtag Karim Ellis. Just do that. Just hit the share button, hit the watch party button, because he's about to unleash the one idea that he's learned from all the mentors he's had. He's going to boil it down to an idea that we can apply in our life. Like, this is like a really cool type of conversation. So as you hit the share button, we appreciate it. For those folks that are out there and you're on Roku or Apple TV or Amazon Fire or even YouTube, we appreciate all of you, by the way. You can still hit the button, by the way. Hit the share button. You can do that right now. All right, man. What's one idea, man? We're all waiting. We're like, yeah, okay, this is it.
So one idea, and I got to set this up right so folks see where I'm coming from. So when people say, man, how did you get Les Brown as a mentor? I tell them that one of my favorite scriptures in the book of life says, your gifts will make room for you and put you before powerful people. Understand, scripture says your gifts will make room for you. It didn't say my sexy bald head, right? My award-winning smile, my six-pack abs. It didn't say my money. It didn't say my education. It said my gifts will make room for me and put me before powerful people. So the way I landed Les Brown, I went to one of his events and I spoke on stage using my gift of communication, and I caught his attention. So number one, you have to figure out what's my God-given gift and talent. If you are here on planet Earth, there is something that's been given to you that gives you the home court advantage. It makes you the alpha in life's chase. You are the best at this, as Dale says, thebomb.com. You do it better than anyone else. And this is your home court advantage. So you got to know my God-given gift and talent. But the second thing I learned, and this was in a one-on-one conversation with Les, because I was prideful about my gift reeling the big fish in, right? And he goes, listen, your gift caught my attention. When I heard you speak, you reminded me of a very young me. But he said, it wasn't your gift that brought you into my camp. It wasn't your gift. He said it was your character. He said, the moment I saw you and I heard you speak and I saw the standing ovation in the room, I started to do my research on you. I went online to take a look at you on social media to see if your character matched your gift. He told me one key thing I'm going to share with everyone right now, because 2020 has been a year of surprises. We've seen so many people get in trouble in the year 2020. We've seen so many celebrities fall from grace in the year 2020. He said, Kareem, don't let your gift take you where your character can't sustain you. Don't let your gift take you to a level where your character can't sustain you. That right now in prison, there is someone who should be an award-winning NFL football coach who had the gift, the talent, the expertise, and the ability, but their character landed them in jail. And so they'll never get that opportunity. That there are political figures that had the ability to change the trajectory of this planet, but they got in trouble because of a character flaw. And so they'll never get to walk that thing out. So my thing is a two-parter. It's number one, find out your God-given gift and talent. I would not be here right now if I didn't figure out I had a gift of communication. But number two, make sure that gift does not get leveled by your character. Character is so vital to your success. Facts about it, God values your character more than your ability to walk out your gift, because at the end of the day, your character is the thing that defines you.
I love it, man. I love it. With that being said, let me second to very last question, if I can. If you had to say the number one reason someone should go get the book, they're probably curious. You mentioned this book several times. And
Sure.
So it's the second to last question. So I want to know, I know he has a copy of the book because he got to have a copy of the book. Why would you expect him to have a copy of the book with his picture right on the front? Go ahead and put the book up. Put the book up so we can see your photo. Put the book up. His photo's big. G.P.S My Success. There it is. They're wondering, where can I go get this book, man? And give me one. Who is the book for? So can I buy it for someone that's in college? Is it just for corporate folks? Is it for folks and entrepreneurs? So take a moment, if you would. Frame the conversation. Look, there's the book. He's going to tell you where to get the book and why you should get it. I'm going to suggest you go not buy one copy, buy two, buy 10 copies. Take it away, my man.
So here's the thing, and I said it before, the number one reason why people don't achieve greatness is they get distracted. They get distracted. And what I've learned is this, and we all know this in the success sphere, where your energy goes, your focus flows. Where your energy goes, your focus flows. So when I put an address inside of GPS, I can be driving in my car. I can have 5 different applications up on my GPS on my phone. I can have Facebook up. I can have Snapchat up. I can have LinkedIn up. I can have my email up. I can be talking on the phone while I'm using the GPS. And the GPS somehow is the dominant application. The GPS will interrupt my phone call. It'll break up my Twitter feed to let me know I'm getting closer to my destination. Make a right turn, make a left turn. You turn the wrong way, go back. And so again, the idea being is the main focus on my GPS is getting me to my destination. Now, here's the thing. I don't believe in teaching anything I haven't used myself. So when I dropped from 230 pounds down to 180, I literally GPS my success. The goal was to lean out. This is the blueprint and the strategy I used. When it came to landing Les Brown as a mentor, this is the exact strategy that I used. I literally GPS my success and figured out vision, strategy, and all the incidentals along the way. So depending on who you are and what it is you want, and here's the thing, the book will only work for you if you have an idea of what it is you want. I don't believe there's anything that's outrageous. I don't believe there's anything that you can ask for that you can't have within the realm of reality. But if you are someone right now in this season of your life and you feel like things have slowed down, you're stuck. If you feel like you are a victim of Corona, COVID-19, not by having the virus, but the virus has affected your livelihood. If you feel like your dreams died January 1st when the country shut down and you're waiting for your dreams to be resurrected, this is the time. Here is the place. You have to cop a copy of this book. Oddly enough, Les is the person that pushed me to put the book out there because I've been giving this in keynote form on stages for 7 years. For 7 years, this has been a keynote I've given to some of the top companies and organizations, from General Electric to Procter & Gamble to Toyota to Honda. I've given it all over the world. So Les was the one who said, you got to make this a book when he heard it. You got to make this a book. I'll do the foreword for you, but you got to make this a book. So my thing is this. If you're ready to go to the next level, you're tired of playing games, you're tired of the setback, you're tired of the challenges, you're tired of getting lost in your own personal wilderness, now is the time to set your address, because the address will always determine the destination. It will always determine the destination. And if you want to cop the book, number one, you can go to Amazon.com, type in Karim Ellis or G.P.S My Success. The book is on there for, I believe it's like $19.99 at the stage right now. It's a very, very easy read. I didn't want to give you something with 5,000 pages where you get bored. It's very, very easy. And the book also has accompanying videos to go along with the chapters. So we got some things I call deeper dive sessions, where I actually lay the strategies out so you can steal my strategies and apply them to your personal scenario. So what I would like to do is this, though. I would like to give away 3 copies of the book to folks that are watching this right now. If you go to my Instagram, which is Karim Ellis1, Karim Ellis1, and you follow me on Instagram, I'll give away 3 copies of this book to whoever follows me on Instagram. Now, again, I'm not going to choose. My wife's going to pick that. Y'all not going to be mad at me and angry at me, but I'll let my wife go on my Instagram and see what 3 people we picked up, and we'll actually give away 3 copies to viewers of your broadcast, because I believe this is a much needed tool in this season that's going to help people achieve success.
Wow. Well, let me say thank you so much. Go out there and make sure you follow him at Karim Ellis1. I think you said 1 at the end.
Karim Ellis1.
The number 1, not O-N-E, the number 1 at the end. You'll find him on Instagram. Make sure you follow him. Do that right now. First, let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. You have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve, man. You came in and you played full out, and he really gave you guys the GPS to your success. I recommend not only do you connect with them, but if you have a book club, if you have an organization, if you have a team and you're meeting, and through the power of these fiber optic lines, you want someone that can share the message that you're hearing right now, at least reach out to him and find out, what it takes and what it's about, because he's someone that can change your life as well, not only yours, but the folks that you lead and the community you're a part of. So thanks a lot, man. We got to have you back on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I'd like to turn over to you. I asked if you would have your closing comments. He said he would. His closing comments to empower or to inspire you. Some people don't want to do it because of time or whatever reason, but he said he'll do it. So you've got this guy, and this is like one of those $25,000 conversations we're having right now. You've got him here right now. He's like, look, I'm all in, man. I'm all in. So I'm all ears. Again, thanks a lot, man. We'll see you soon, man. I appreciate you. Over to you to close it out for us.
Gotcha. So my closing comment in this season is this. I want you to understand that whatever it is you want to be, you're already that thing, just in seed form, okay? You're already that thing in seed form, but understand that a seed doesn't start the transformation process until it has first been planted. Not just planted, but it has to be planted in proper soil. So even though things don't look right, even though we're in an arena where things are not specifically set in stone, and we're kind of inventing things as we go, because this is new territory for every person, not only in the States, but across the world. I want you to understand that when you take a look at a seed, the genetic makeup of the seed is already locked inside, but it has to be properly planted. When I look at Shay, you're properly planted, so we're seeing the manifestation through the harvest of your broadcast and the lives you touch by putting this broadcast together. When you look at Karim Ellis is a seed that decided to plant himself at the age of 26. And so right now you're eating off the fruit of my education, my wisdom, my knowledge, my victories, my setbacks, and my challenges. The question I have for you in the year 2020, the year of vision, because I believe 2020 stands for 2020 vision, will you be willing to join the rest of us happy entrepreneurs by planting your seed? And remember one key thing, that the fruit that grows from your tree is not just for you. I've never seen an apple tree bend down and pick up a fallen apple and take a bite out of it. No, my friend, that fruit is to feed other folks out there. So now is the time. This is the place. Let's get together. Let's plant seed. Let's develop harvest.
I love it, man. I love it. With that being said, thanks a lot, man. I want you all to know that you're out there watching right now, that today is your January 1st. You can not only know your vision, but you have the GPS to your success. Today is your January 1st. As he mentions that you can have a setback, you can lose internet connection, but he told you what to need to do to still get to your destination. And for you watching right now, You that's out there that want to make a difference in the world, for you, the best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. With that being said, for those folks who know who's doing all that screaming and yelling, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. So we've got to live in the moment, and we got to make it count. God bless, and we wish you success. Thanks a lot, Kareem. You rock, man. You're a rock star. We'll see you later. Thanks for all of you out there, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you follow us. We'll see you again soon. We got to go. We're out of here. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.